What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Afrojoe telling you movie. Today we're going to talk about this influencer named Sasha Brooks. She's a TikTok influencer. The big picture is her. The four small pictures are victims of hers. And from what I'm hearing is Sasha Brooks is getting accused of SA and her ex-boyfriend Theo. But I'm going to show you what's been said. Here we go.
That took advantage of me and
So I'm like really shaking right now, but it's been 3 years since I've been comfortable enough to talk about this, mainly because someone else has come forward about it, and up until now I felt like, she had such a big following and there was no reason for me to talk about it, and she could destroy me on this app and whatever, but now I feel like I'm super comfortable enough to talk about it. So this other creator did not specify her name, but I am going to. So I have known Salah since middle school. We went to middle school together. We went to high school together. And, she came to visit me while I lived in Colorado. I came to visit her when she was in College Station going to A&M. So we've known about each other a lot. But, and I don't know if you guys remember, but when Salah was first blowing up, she went by Curly and Crazy as her username, and which I taught her how to use TikTok because I was blowing up at the time, and I told her she could do the same thing, and so we reconnected that way after I came back from Colorado. And so anyways, so this was my experience. Not only did she like and also assaulted me all in one night. So here's the story. Never told anybody about this except for my close friends. But so I went to go visit her in College Station one time, and at the time she was living at this apartment, and I had just came out to my parents, and I got kicked out for it. And so I went to go visit her, and she was really wanting to party, and I had never tried anything before, and she basically shoved it in my mouth. She was like, drink this, take this, and got me to the point where I didn't even know where I was and what I was doing. I was very out of my mind. I don't even know how we ended up back at her apartment. All I remember is that I was laying down in the bed and she was doing what she wanted to do, and I was so like up and crazy, and like I really didn't know what was going on. I really can't describe the experience, but I do remember it. And the next morning, I tuck-tailed and I ran. I was like, I gotta go. She was like, oh, well, you're not gonna do anything for me? And I was like, sorry, I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go take care of my cats that I left at my parents' house, so I left. And I felt really weird about it. I didn't really know what happened. And I was like, maybe I consented to it. Maybe I was okay. We were both really, high, and maybe, I consented to it, but I don't really remember. I just remember the feeling and me being weirded out by it, and extremely weirded out by it by the morning. And so I left. And it doesn't really, our communication doesn't really start there. I really should have ended our communication there, and a part of me did, but a part of me wanted to still be friends with her for some reason. So anyways, fast forward like a couple weeks, she moved out of her apartment and she was coming down to Houston. I didn't really know her ulterior motives, which I found out later on. But she came back and she stayed at my apartment for a couple days, and this is where she outed me to my friends. So we were in the car. She needed to get something from her guardian's house, which, by the way, it's a lie, okay? She did jump, she was in the foster system, okay? But she jumped around to different family members because different family members didn't want to deal with her because she has always been crazy. She's always been like that. So that little sob story about how she just was in the system, it's true, but not completely true. She definitely had family. She definitely had support. Because I've known her since middle school, high school, that sort of thing. So, and she has a sister that anyways, I don't want to talk too much about her drama, but so she came back to Houston, and I told her that she could stay at my house for a couple days. She even wanted to get an apartment with me, but she kept going back and forth. She kept make a decision. So eventually she came back to my apartment. She left her stuff there, and she just made me feel really scared. Like, I was really scared of her. She was really aggressive, especially with my friends. So one particular time we were in my car and we had to grab something from her, one of her foster family's house, which was a foster family she had lived with for years. And we were in the car and she just blurts out and says, "Jade, you're not gay. You don't know what you want, but you're not gay. You just don't know what you want." And in a car full of my friends that I hadn't really come out to, and I was like, what the hell? And then we came over to my house to say hi to my parents. She's at my parents' house opening up all the drawers and opening up, different things, snooping basically, and made my parents very uncomfortable. So we left. My dad texted me. He was like, "Hey, that was like really weird. What the fuck?" And then we fast forward, we went back to my apartment. I went to work, and then this is kind of like too much information, but I went to work and I came back to work. She called me while I'm in the car and she said, "Hey, can I invite a friend over to your apartment?" And I was like, I mean, sure, why not? She was like, "Okay, good, because she's already here." Okay, that's not asking me, but all right. So the friend's there. She's making me feel very uncomfortable, telling me to get out of her shop when she's making a TikTok and all this other stuff. And this was before I even had furniture in my apartment. And fast forward, same day, we're outside sitting on my hammock, and I'm in the hammock with me and a friend, and she's just being a total bitch to my friends, like a total freaking bitch to my friends, acting like she doesn't want to be there, acting like she doesn't want to have anything to do with my friends, being super rude, killed my basil plant by into my basil plant, killed it, and then acted like, nothing was wrong. But then my friend saw her do it and told me about it, and I was like, what the hell? And then she decided, hey, I'm gonna go to California. I'm gonna go try to meet Tony, and I'm gonna try to, meet other famous TikTokers and get on that famous TikToker train. And I was like, you go, girl, you go. But when she left, she stole clothes of mine. She stole some of my Mary Jane. She stole a whole bunch of stuff. And then that's when I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's a little toxic. So I text her and I said, hey, this is what you did. This is what I'm upset about. And I'm just letting you know I don't want to be your friend anymore. She calls me nonstop and I'm like, I don't want to answer. Hours later, she knocks on my door at about 12 in the morning, puts a camera in my face, tries to make an apology video with me, camera in my face, saying, "I'm sorry I stole your shorts, bitch." It was more than that, but anyways, she ends up spending the night because I guess her ride, bailed on her when she was going to California or something. And then I let her stay, and then the next morning I was just like, I really just don't want to be your friend. Like, I really don't want to be your friend. And so I tell her about it, and she blows the fuck up on me. And we ended up blocking each other on everything. And that was the last time that me and Selah spoke, and that was the last time I ever spoke about my entire experience with her. But I'm really glad that I'm not glad that somebody else went through that experience, but I'm glad that I can be able to talk about it, because it's unfortunate that somebody else had to go through a little bit about her, and then, now I can finally talk about it, because I've been scared for so long. So, anyways. Okay, one more thing, and then I'm never talking about this again, but the day that she came over to my apartment and shoved a phone in my face trying to apologize for a TikTok, and using it for clout. She then later said off camera, she told me that the reason why she was so mad or so mean to me was because she was jealous that I had friends and family that cared about me and she didn't. That's a lie. Many people cared about her. And then she said if I were to ever make a video about this experience, that I could ruin her entire reputation, and made me promise that I would never make a video about it. So I was really scared for a long time, until it happened to somebody else, and now I'm comfortable with saying it. So anyways, this is us back in 2020. If I could go back and tell Jade, stand on your business, I would.
That was just one of the victims. That was Jada. Uh, she went to school with Miss Brooks from middle school to high school. So she went to school with this girl. And this is getting dangerous. And I sit there and I tell you this about, because I don't know if these stories are true, because they don't prove no evidence to show this is true or not. I don't know if it is, but you gotta have proof. You gotta have some proof. If you don't, people just gonna take it with a grain of salt. And I'm gonna play another one. She was like the second one to come out, Jada. But I'm gonna play another one just to show y'all the first one actually kind of got the story rolling. I'm gonna try to play this one. Here we go.
Influencer that took advantage of me and schmexually assaulted me, and she has multiple millions of followers. I didn't tell you that story. Let me. There's an influencer out there who lives on a bus. Used to travel on a bus with a boyfriend. Now lives on a property with a bunch of fucking buses. Okay? And let's say I went over to this bus commune. And she's telling me all these crazy stories that are not true. And I'm starting to sniff out someone that I wouldn't be friends with. There's one day that I'm basically just trying to escape from this place because it's impossible to get out of buttfuck nowhere. And she asks for my consent to do something to me, to which I say no. And she proceeds to do what she wanted to me. To which afterward I say, I didn't consent to that. She laughs. I leave the next day. Someone just comes and gets me because I was fucking scared. And after I'm gone, she's calling me. Why did you leave? She calls my friends that I'm with. And finally, I text her and I say, hey girl, you schmexually assaulted me. Get the fuck off my phone. I'm blocking you. I don't want anything to do with you. I didn't want to tell this story for a really long time because it made me really uncomfortable to tell, and I still get a little shaky about it because I did feel really vulnerable in that moment. And especially because she continued to follow me. I guess waiting for me to say something. I don't know. Because she would tell me that she would get fans to come to the commune and tell them that they can come hang out with them as long as they have a threesome with her and her boyfriend, and then made these young 18, 19-year-old girls sign an NDA. She then told me that I was going to have to sign an NDA, which I laughed at. This girl followed me for the longest time and then unfollowed me a few weeks ago. Now, this person is already starting to be disliked on this app, which is brilliant for me. Because now I feel like I can come out and say my shit, and I have other people who know what I'm talking about. I have like a fan of theirs who came to me and told me that they were also taken advantage of by these people. Ooh, I just cannot wait to hear what you guys are going to say to this. So if you're out there and you're watching this video, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, you cannot take advantage of fans. I don't care I do care what you do to me. But taking advantage of people who follow you simply because you have a following and these poor fucking people just want to come and hang out with you is fucking sick. And I hope you get help. And you need help. And you know you do. So any hoozles, I can't wait to see what y'all are going to say to this. Anyway, I got some, I'm going to make a salmon. This whole video was actually going to be me cooking salmon, but that's not that.
That was Meeps. And she was the first one to come out. And she said she had a friend come pick her up. It was another TikToker that came and picked her up, which I will show that person's video. I think her name was Mama. But she even like this is the one. But I'm gonna say this: an NDA is a non-disclosure contract, which means if you sign it, that means you can't talk to nobody about it. And she's not the only one. I think there's another girl, which I'm trying to get her video, but I couldn't get it. Said that they wanted her to sign an NDA, NRA NDA, non-disclosure, yeah, NDA, and plus you heard Jada say, "Don't tell nobody, or don't tell nobody what happened." It's you're starting to hear that a lot, but I'm gonna say this: I need proof. I need proof. The reason why is because anybody can say something. I'm not protecting Brooks, but I'm just saying you got to have evidence on what you're saying. If not, people just gonna say hearsay, bunch of bullshit. But I'm gonna play the other video.
2, the friend that picked Meep up from the bus commune. When I first started living in my RV, the friend that picked Meep up van community, and 2, the friend that picked Meep up from the bus commune. When I first started living in my RV, I wanted pretty badly to go and live there. Like my RV, I mean, they both dig TikTok. They're both kind of around my age. I thought that it would be cool until I get a phone call while I was in the Virgin Islands airport from Meep saying, "Hey, I am very uncomfortable. I do not feel safe. Can you pick me up?" Let me tell y'all, absolutely nothing would have stopped me from getting home and picking up that girl. Nothing. We hadn't even met in person before. It's actually kind of a little bit of our love story, actually. But I'm just so thankful that I was literally in the airport getting ready to go home, and she called me. I arrive at the little commune in the dark. First of all, I would have never been able to drive my RV to that property. Oh my god, and I was fucking off-roading. Finally find the bus that Meep is staying in, and that girl bolts out the door. She bolts. Jumps in my car, and we bolt. She's just telling me everything that happened, and I'm so thankful that I never stayed there. My jaw was on the floor. It's not my story to tell, though. You can go and watch Meep's video. As someone in the RV community, it's super disappointing. And they are also on Workaway. If you don't know what that is, it's a website where you can go and get a job on someone's property and they'll let you stay there for free. I know a lot of RVers do this. I know just a lot of people who are trying to get away from home and don't have the money to do it. Trying to go live somewhere else who don't have the money to do it. I just want to get the word out there that Workaway is not the Workaway you want to work away at. It's not. Don't go to the bus commune in Austin. Also, younger kids, fans, don't sign NDAs written up by influencers. Nothing about that says good. Influencers, if you're trying to get people to sign NDAs, nothing about you says good. Anyway, if any of you bitches come after Meep, I'm sending the fucking Meef army after you. That's right, Meef. Meep and beef. Together we're... Hi friends, I'm here as someone younger in the RV.
Okay, that's mother. That's me, mother Meep. And you heard what she said, backing up Meep's story, and And it's like I said, man, it don't look pretty for this girl. If this was actually real and like actually true, then she's in some deep shit that she can't get her ass out of. And it's getting worse and worse because we're about to roll into another one. And it's ridiculous. It's
Did
ridiculous.
I ever tell you about that influencer that took advantage of me and
Okay, so firstly, I just want to say thank you to Meep for coming forward and telling that story because me too. I also had a similar experience with that same influencer, and honestly, I've just been waiting for someone to come forward and said they had a situation too. So I'm just want to thank you for using your platform to bring this problem to light, because there's not a doubt in my mind that she would have continued to take advantage of her fans and other people just in general. I wasn't even one of her fans. I was just someone who was talking to her. At least so I thought. And just, using that as... Sorry, this is like uncomfortable to record. And I'm not going to go into the details of my experience, but I just wanted to show my support for me and all the other girls that come forward, and kind of advocate in a little bit of a way. I'm just really glad that this is getting brought to light because this definitely would have continued on if no one ever addressed it. So seriously, thank you for using your platform to do that because, yeah, definitely saved a lot of girls from the same fate. And just want to say that it's fucked up that sometimes people gain influence through the internet sometimes and use it to take advantage of other people, and I just don't understand why you'd want that to be the human experience that you have. I just think it's disgusting and fucked up. So I hope justice is served because that's unacceptable and it needs to be, I don't know, as a society we just need to shut that down. But I'm sorry. I also just want to reiterate how important safe and consensual sex is. That's the only sex that anyone should be having. And if you don't get someone's consent, you should leave them the fuck alone. So that's just my little, tidbit.
Lord Jesus, I'm gonna tell you this. I have done videos on YouTube long enough where that I've talked about essays from YouTubers, grooming from YouTubers, some of the YouTubers being Geppettos, and some celebrities that are Geppettos and groomers. I even did uh, videos about kids being in traffic, and it doesn't get any better. It makes it even worse. And when I do videos, I'm always doing more videos like this because nobody speaks. Well, some people do speak on it, but not get the whole information on some of the things. Now, when I look at this, I was like, this is getting terrible. And Miss Brooks Miss Brooks is in a bad lighting, and it's getting worse. There's another video of another one, and LL is her name on TikTok, and what she had to say is something else.
Come with me while this is actually really good. Come with me while I pretend to be a TikToker for the day with a fake get ready with me video so I can talk about something important. I want to preface this video by saying a few things first. Like, if you see me laugh or smile during any of this, it's not because I think what I'm talking about pertaining to me or anyone else is funny. It's just because that is how I genuinely respond to things that make me uncomfortable. I know it's terrible. I can't help it. So just know that. Also, huge shout out to Meepers, whose real name I do not know, and I should have asked, and now I feel terrible for that, but I really hope it is Meepers. It could be, for all I know. Without her, I would not be talking about this. So, huge shout out to her for her voice and encouragement and just supporting others, you know, because until literally 2 days ago, I didn't even know there was other people. So let's talk about it. So in 2020, I met Kayla Cooks at Texas A&M when I was doing my undergrad there. And we became friends, and she eventually asked if she could move in to one of these spare bedrooms I had in my house because she claimed she had nowhere to stay. Well, me being the very giving and easy to take advantage of person, I said, yes, of course. Literally bought her the bed in that room, the furniture, like set her up. She stayed there for months and didn't pay a single dollar of rent or just for anything like that in general. And we also had some other problems with stealing and just, yeah. But one night we decided we wanted to go to an A&M game. So we were regrettably, unfortunately, whatever, drinking before the game, during the game. We were very intoxicated. I was very intoxicated. And a little bit before the game ended, we decided, well, I did. I wanted to go back to the house so I could shower before we ended up going out for the night. So we went back to the house. I was in the shower, got out of the shower, and I opened up the bathroom door and a towel because my clothes are in my room, obviously. And she's just sitting on the edge of the bed looking at me. Okay. Well, she gets up, comes over to me and grabs my wrist, and leads me over to my bed and like turns me around to where like my back is towards my bed. And then proceeds to grab my towel and throw it on the ground and then push me back on my bed. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no. Like, and like try to bend down to grab my towel, and she just pushes me back again and then gets on top of me and straddles me. And basically implied that by the end of it, I will enjoy. And keep in mind, there was someone else there in the room. You can probably piece that together watching other videos and whatnot. And yeah, basically, I'm not gonna say it. You can put the pieces together. I can't. I don't want to say it, nor do I want to talk about it. This is talking about it enough for me. So, yeah. After that, I put on my clothes and we got in a car and went to Northgate, the bars. And no one could understand why I was crying in the front seat and like upset and not wanting to talk to anyone and just like disgusted with myself. Yeah, so let's just say shortly after that, she moved out. And it's just crazy because I'm the type of person who, well, let me preface by saying this. I didn't speak, I wasn't staying silent for all this time because I was scared. I'm just the type of person that's like, oh, worse has happened. You know, this isn't that big of a deal. Or I suppress it and just completely forget about it, or completely ignore it, or completely change my narrative on the matter and convince myself that it was okay what happened. And it wasn't until I watched Meeper's video literally 2 days ago that I was like I was shocked. I was so surprised, but I wasn't surprised at all. I just was like, I immediately reached out to her. Literally, I'm not on TikTok. I have 2 videos. I'm only on Instagram. And I DM'd her on Instagram. I was like, oh, we need to talk. And I had never, except one other person, talked about this to anyone. Just because, like, for so many different reasons. And for reasons you probably can pick up on. And, you know, it's not that I was scared. I was just disgusted, mortified, and honestly, I just pretended like it didn't happen, you know? But it needs to be talked about, because knowing that there was other women, other people who went through something like this or something similar is just like, So, you know, everyone can believe what they want about this subject, about this matter. I've read some of the comments on Meeper's videos, you know, you have no proof, all this stuff, but it's like, guys,
Not, not to be mean to Meeks or LL, but I do agree with those comments. You don't have proof, and it makes it hard for anybody to believe your stories because without proof, it's a bunch of hearsay. Which I'm not saying y'all liars. It makes it hard for anybody to believe. If you went to court on this, a real judge would have threw it out of court because you have no evidence and you're basing it on hearsay, and that you have no way of proving that this really happened. And there was another girl which I couldn't get her video, but there is a Brooks Salah, so whatever Brooks, I'm gonna call her Brooks. They do a response to all these females. There's another girl named Sierra that spoke about this, and she felt the same way. She said the same thing as these girls, that Brooks did the same thing, essayed her, told her to sign this paper and all this and that. But I'm gonna show Brooks responding to all this mess, calling these ladies liars. She calls them liars.
Terrible things, and I feel the need to address that and set the record straight. I'm a sexually active person, and I've never hid that from any of my partners. In my last relationship, we were open and polyamorous, which means we were both willing to let other people be a part of our sexual activities. However, it was always consensual, and it was always safe. And there was never NDAs. There was never a need for NDAs. That kind of lifestyle, it can be exciting and it can be adventurous, but we're all human and we all catch feelings, and that's where things get complicated because communication breaks down and feelings get hurt. And in no way is that kind of lifestyle a hall pass for inappropriate behavior. You always want partners who are willing to engage in safe and consensual sex. But that's why these stories being thrown around so carelessly are so hurtful. One is from a longtime friend and consensual sexual partner who never voiced any concerns to me until she decided to share it and multiple other lies about my childhood to her TikTok platform. I am so sorry to hear she's hurting right now, but it cannot be because our interactions weren't consensual. In fact, she initiated sex with me the morning that she left my house, and we made good friends and in contact for over a year. Another is a girl who I had a long-term consensual sexual and romantic relationship with, and she asked me to leave my partner for her, which is something I did not want to do. However, despite how it ended, we remained good friends and in contact as into July of this year. And then there's a woman I never had a sexual relationship with of any kind, and that's the video you've all seen of her cutting up the salmon with the knives. We never even kissed. She's trying to turn a playful joke that my friends and I do with each other into something that's sinister. However, I can see in retrospect how it's not that funny. However, it was in no way intended as sexual. I am not sure why these girls are making these videos, though I can say that only they know. But it has been good for their follower count, it has been good for their views, and it has been good for their revenue. Guys, I will accept responsibility for situations that got emotionally messy, but as a survivor of sexual assault, I know what it's like to be the target of a predator, and I would never put anyone else through that kind of shame or trauma. To suggest that I'm capable of hurting someone in that way is not only wrong, but it is a lie, and I will not let people sit back and lie about me. I appreciate the support from my friends, and thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. People have been sharing vague stories about me that insinuate terrible.
I'm gonna say this. You see how she called them liars, especially Jada, the French that she went to school with from middle school to high school, calling her a liar, saying you did do consensual sex that morning. But I say it like this with you saying you got a polyamorous and you're very sexual, like you do got to be careful in these time of needs. The reason why is that makes the movement strong as fuck. Two, even though you're polyamorous, you got to be careful because one thing is you might fit under another community or whatever, and you're getting that community in trouble. But to sit here and call all these ladies liars, that's making you look more guilty. And have you noticed that if you follow her on TikTok or YouTube, she's living in another country, and it makes you question. She's gonna be gone for like 3 months, and it makes you wonder, it's like, why the fuck did this woman leave for 3 months, now living in another country. Why are you running? Now I see why that she's always on the move. Because somebody can come out and say she has saved somebody, or can't get, or the police is looking for her. So I don't know if if one of these victims actually called the authorities for on her for saying them. You never know, but Miss Jada comes back for a response, which I do love this response. She comes back with a response like a motherfucker, like a beast. Like a beast.
Not gonna do, Salah, is call me a fucking liar. And sorry I don't have lights, the perfect lighting, and the perfect calm voice as you. I certainly wouldn't be calm if someone was accusing me of this, but since you want to talk about what you think happened, I'm gonna go into detail even more, okay? Let's do it. First of all, I have nothing to gain from sharing what I went through personally to thousands of people. I do not do TikTok. You ruined that for me. After our horrible fallout, I stopped doing TikTok. I just lost the interest. I knew that if that's what, being an influencer was gonna be, I didn't want it, okay? It was not for me. And since you want to say that I'm lying about, your background and your childhood, anyways, you remember this, Salah? Do you remember what you told my cousin that was super inappropriate when she was, 10 years old? Or when you talked to my mom about, everything that had happened in your family? Mind you, I knew your sister before I knew you. Did you forget that? Oh, but I'm lying. And not to give you the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, we were very good friends. We went to prom together. You, me, Maddie. You remember that? But we were very, very close. Hence why I was so scared and confused and just overall, what the fuck? And now to talk about what you did to me the night I came to visit you in College Station. Because that was when I, for the first time, thought, hey, I don't want to be friends with her. Because before that, we were very good friends. After that, our relationship ended. Shortly after that, there was not a long time period between that. I really don't know why I shake so badly when I start talking about this, but it's got to be talked about, because if I thought about it if it's been my Roman Empire for the past 3 years, you could think about it for a second, okay? You can do that for sure. But I'm more mad than scared now because you're calling me a fucking liar. But anyways, let me get into it. So, first of all, Salah, you were the first person I came out to. Do you not remember this conversation we had in my car? Oh, and you knew I had no, I had no, fuck, I can't even talk. I had no experience with substances. I mean, yeah, I dabble in the little yeah, sure, but I had never done what you normally were doing, and you knew that, and I trusted you because why wouldn't I trust a friend? And I mean, if you don't remember, I was pretty bonkers that night. I went on this whole journey on my longboard and I got lost, and then you came and then you called me and I had to find my way back, and then I walk in the room and you were like, you're tripping too hard. This will sober you up. And you handed me and I trusted you, but I was also out of my fucking mind. I really hope this doesn't get taken down. And now that I'm older and I look back on it, because I felt guilty for so long for remotely consenting to that, is, first of all, you were supposed to be a friend. If you knew that I had never done this before, why would you force it upon me and then, while I'm in my vulnerable state, tell me to candy flip? Three different candy flips, bro. I've never done any of that. before ever, and I've never done it since then because that was just a bad experience for me. When we got back to our apartment, first of all, there was no build up to this might be happening. There was no talking about, hey, do you find me cute? I find you cute. Let's hook up. There was no conversation about it. All of a sudden, you were making out with me on your bed, and I'm out of my mind. And I do remember faking the ending so it would be over. And you passed out after that. And I was up the rest of the night to think about what the fuck just happened. And I feel disgusting. And I feel betrayed. And I was up until the sun came up. I didn't get any sleep that night. And then I was getting dressed and I was sitting on your chair. I was trying to leave before you woke up, but you woke up. I was damn near at the door. And you insinuated that I didn't do anything for you. So I never initiated anything. I never gave you any indication that I wanted to do stuff with you. You were a friend. That was it. After that incident, we kept in contact for about a month and a half after that, before everything officially ended. But you, of course I didn't tell you that's how I felt. I also felt weird about it. And I knew you didn't feel weird about it because you had talked about, how open you were about your sex positive life, okay? And also, I only knew my feelings. I have never been essayed before in my entire life. I have no idea what that looks like, let alone what it looks like if it came from a friend, okay? And I just knew I felt very fucking weird about it. And when you came back to Houston and dumped all your shit off at my apartment and was rude to my fucking friends, and I have accounts of Jason and another dude, they both witnessed it, okay? They were there when you were being a bitch, okay? And after College Station, you're mad that I didn't talk to you about that shit? You're the fucking aggressor, bro. I was talking to my real friends about it. I was talking to my cousin about it. I was talking to my very fucking best friend about it. And they both know how hard it was for me to finally tell you I didn't want to be your friend anymore. Ever since College Station, I have been gathering the courage to finally be like, I can't handle you anymore. I do not want to be your friend anymore. And I think it's very toxic. And when I finally mustered up the courage to do so, you blew it back in my face, bro. You blew it back in my face. I never spoke about our experience, even though we both had people in our comments back in 2020 asking why we didn't make videos anymore together. You didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything. I had to heal in my own way, and I did. And that happened, I don't know, maybe like 6 months after that is when I came to realize that I was taken advantage by you. And I never spoke about it on TikTok until now. And I was gonna go to my grave to this, but it was because somebody else went through this, girl. Somebody else went through this. And I really, 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 really hope all the girls that are in my DMs talking about their experience, I hope they come forward, bro. I hope they do. Because you can call me a liar all you want. I know what really happened, Salah. I know who you are, truly. And these other two women are so fucking brave. And if it wasn't for Meep, I would have never fucking said any of this. I just hope everybody else comes forward. Because I wasn't the first one. And I was not the last one. Remember Jack's best friend's sister? Remember her? Don't even want to get into that. And to the people that say that I should have, acted differently. I should have spoke up when it happened. I should have done this. I should have done that. We should have, would have, could have. Okay? I wasn't brave back then. I'm brave now, bitch. I'm 25. Okay? I'm older. I'm wiser. Okay? Things grew. And to the people say that I'm lying, I don't give a shit. I don't care if you think I'm lying or not. I really don't care. This is about you and me, Selah. You and me know exactly what happened. And you know exactly how you made me feel. And you know exactly how you treated me.
Look, I'm gonna say this about this part. I do agree with Jada and many other girls that spoke out that what they went through, nobody can experience it but them. But Brooks, he said, "Oh, y'all doing this for clown? Y'all doing this for money?" Girl, you on TikTok? Live out of a bus. What money they gonna get from you? Then I realized that you must got something on you because you taking a trip to another fucking country, staying there for 3 fucking. And it made me question you so much. When I started watching you on TikTok, I was like, where the fuck is this girl getting this money at to take these trips? It's like she gotta have some money somewhere doing something to take these trips out of state and out of country. Because I know TikTok is not paying like that. I know YouTube pays like it, but I don't think TikTok was paying like that. And it was making me question where the fuck you getting this money from. And I agree with these ladies about this girl, about Brooks, because I agree, but I want to believe him so badly, but I gotta have evidence for this. I'm not calling them liars. I'm not saying they're bullshit. I'm just saying I gotta have proof to see that this really happened. I'm not calling them liars. I'm not. I'm never gonna call them liars. And when Elle was saying, she said there was another person. There was Brooks's boyfriend Theo at the time. Now her ex-boyfriend. And you see how she was calling all these girls liars and shit. And she like really some of the stories, some of the things they say in their stories is kind of accurate because you live in a bus at a place in Austin, Texas, like out in the sticks, out in the boonies, and you got people backing up the stories, which again I just can't say it's true, but they got people backing up the stories. And I say it like this: if Sasha, it was better for you not to say nothing because that fucking video response was fucked up as hell. That was like the Colleen ukulele video, but you doing it in another, and you did the video in another country, so you pretty much know something's going on there. Somebody's because for one, when you did that video, so all of them lying, all of them lying. You know another victim's gonna come out and say, have something really on your ass. One of these other victims is gonna really have something on you, and it's gonna take you down. And what makes it even bad, you talk about your sexuality, how sexual you are. You know how bad that shit, that makes their story more accurate. When you talk about how sexual you are with multiple partners. If I was a DA and I heard you say that, I would have already filed charges. It's like, damn. She said she was very sexual. Okay, let's file charges. Because when she said she was sexual, I'm going to charge it. Because it make all these statements true. Well, I got multiple partners, casual sex, orgies, and da da da. You just made their story true, believable, accurate, so on and so forth. Because you talk about your sex life. That makes you look bad when you talk about your sex life in the public. How many partners you have. And then there was a story, there was one girl on Reddit that said she knew you in college. No, she said, no. Yeah, there was a girl that said she knew you in college. And she said the same thing what Jada said, that you did the same thing at A&M. Then there was another girl that came out that said that she met you on Tinder, that she had to go get tested because she knew that you have some Bernie, some itchy, something crawly down there. She had to go get tested. And it makes you look like I said, this is bad business, ladies and gentlemen. And people are already unfollowing you for the statement you made about Burning Man. Oh, somebody perished. Oh, that Burning Man. Who cares? Everybody does. That was the most fucked up statement you can say. You just made yourself look worse. Made yourself look worse. Made yourself look fucking terrible. But I tell it like it is. Sasha, you have fucked yourself on it. When you came out with that video response, calling them liars, talking about that was the biggest part. You talking about your sexuality, talking about how sexual you are with your polyamorous lifestyle. You could have left that part out. If you would have left your how sexual you are out and you being polyamorous, you would have had this. If you would have sat there and not called them liars, I don't know where these accusations come from. You should have left both parts of them out. Talking about your how sexual you are, and calling them liars. Because what you did was you made yourself look more guilty. You made yourself look guilty, and it just looks bad. Like I said, this is the first time I ever did a video about a TikTok person now, and it's bad, and it's gonna look bad. But I'm gonna tell you this: she's gonna get off, because you know why? Ain't nobody gonna charge her. She ain't going to jail. She gonna do it again. She gonna keep essaying people. Continue because too many people like her. Or too many. And to be honest, when I started watching her videos, I said, damn, she attractive. But there's something about her I don't like. And then the funny thing is, there was people saying that too. She is very attractive, but there's something about her I don't like, that don't fit right, don't feel right. Something about her doesn't feel right about her. And it don't. I still have that feeling. Every time I watch her YouTube video or TikTok, I said, something don't sit right with me, man. Something don't fit right with me. Something don't sit right, fit right, and feel right. Something's going on with this girl. Something she's hiding. She's hiding something. I bet she got so many damn skeletons in her closet, man. She got a graveyard. Cause she's hiding something. And I think Jada done pointed that out halfway on that. I think Jada pointed it to the right direction when she talked a little about Sasha past, because she was saying a little bit too much. And I think Brooks was trying to say Jada's a liar because she don't want nobody to know what's going on in her past. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Do you think she's guilty or do you think she's innocent? I don't know. I can't tell, but I think somebody's full of it. Yeah. Tell me what you're thinking down in the comment section. Follow me on, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell for notification. Follow my fan page, group page, TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget to check out my other channels. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notification. I'm Afrojoe. Tell I can see y'all. Peace.